Going up to 84. I'm Susan Richard. WINS News Time, 7:30.
Good morning, I'm Paul Murnane. And a House Republican from the northern burbs is voicing support for the idea of federal troops in New York City if President Trump follows through on his threat. Congressman Michael Lawler asked on Face the Nation on CBS if he'd be comfortable with troops in the city, as has been mentioned by the president.
Crime has been a major problem in New York for years, and Kathy Hochul and Albany and New York City Democrats have failed miserably.
Trump deployed troops to Washington. Last week he said Chicago and New York would be next. National Guard troops in Washington are carrying firearms as of last night. A Defense Department official says they're authorized to use them for self-protection and as a last resort in the case of imminent threat of bodily harm. Presidential threats are being made at Maryland's Governor Wes Moore over the crime situation in Baltimore.
In a post on social media, Trump writing Moore asked that I walk the streets of Maryland with him. If Wes Moore needs help, I will send in the troops, which is being done in nearby D.C., and quickly clean up the crime. The governor responding on CBS's Face the Nation, calling President Trump's comments unconstitutional and hypocritical.
For a party that talks about state rights, it's amazing how they're having such a big government approach in the way they're conducting public safety.
That's reporter Allison Cossack. Allison Cossack with the story. WINS News Time, 7:31. That brings us to the latest on the roads as we get you where you need to go with Aaron Stewart.
We're still talking about Belt Parkway, former accident that was out there since 3:54 and since cleared because the eastbound Belt Parkway at Merrick, they're cleaning up the roadway following that 3:54 accident, and the left lane is blocked. That's why you're sitting in that eastbound Belt Parkway delay to Sunrise Highway. They are sending you to Sunrise Highway, to Hillside Avenue, Central Avenue North, and back to Southern State as we check things there. We'll keep an ongoing check of things. Give it a lot to 1010 WINS. Traffic and transit every 10 minutes on the ones. Just know right now the eastbound belt is heavy to Merrick Boulevard. Over the Hudson River, things have changed as we check what you need to know about the bridges and tunnels. The inbound George Washington Bridge is 20 for the upper, 15 for the lower, 10 from the Palisades, 20 at the Lincoln, and 35 minutes into the Holland from Pulaski Skyway approach now, while it's only 15 to 20 minute delays from the Newark Bay Extension. Garden State Parkway, northbound in Bloomfield at 148. There's an accident on the shoulder, and if you're heading out into the westbound LIE to Deer Park Avenue, we have an accident there. It's brand new. That one's over on the left shoulder as well, so no lanes are blocked. Traffic is sponsored by the Barnesburg Traffic Tip Line at 844-JAM-1010. Karen Stewart, 1010 WINS at 92.3 FM.
I'm attorney Rich Barnes. If you've been in a car crash, choosing the right firm is crucial to get the help you need and the best result possible.
The Barnesburg Injury Attorneys, call 1-800-8-million.
Manhattan, Long Island. Well, we're getting a sense of what's next in the negotiations with Russia on Ukraine, what we're hearing from the vice president in just a moment. But first, what we're hearing from the weather guy this morning about this humidity. And Joe Lundberg, we want to get rid of it, don't we?
We are going to get rid of it, Paul. It'll be humid this morning. We'll see times of sun and clouds today. It'll become breezy and warm with lower humidity this afternoon. And our high 84, that'll set us up for a clear, comfy night tonight. 64 in the city, but many north and west suburbs will get down into the mid and upper 50s. Sunshine tomorrow morning mixed with some fair weather clouds in the afternoon. I say fair weather for most of us. There may be a late day shower way out to the north and west of the city, the high 80. More sun than clouds Wednesday, very comfortable, about 75, upper 70s with some sunshine on Thursday. Right now in Central Park, a lot of clouds and 72 degrees, the humidity at 78%, a breeze out of the south at 5. Repeating our current temperature, 72, going up to 84 in Midtown. I'm meteorologist Joe Lundberg on New York's weather station, 1010 WINS on 92.3 FM.
Vice President J.D. Vance says he believes the diplomatic option can work in ending Russia's war on Ukraine. On NBC's Meet the Press, Vance says that Moscow and Kyiv already have made concessions.
What they have conceded is the recognition that Ukraine will have territorial integrity after the war. They've recognized that they're not going to be able to install a puppet regime in Kiev. That was, of course, a major demand at the beginning. And importantly, they've acknowledged that there is going to be some security guarantee to the territorial integrity of Ukraine.
Vance says if negotiations hit a brick wall, as he puts it, the Trump administration will apply leverage, calling it energetic diplomacy to end the war. In other words, further sanctions not off the table. That magic med that many are taking to shed pounds could pack a punch against certain types of cancer.
Taking a popular weight loss drug was linked to lower rates of cancer for people who are overweight or obese. A study published in JAMA found overweight people who took GLP-1 RAs had an overall reduced risk of cancer, including lower risks of endometrial and ovarian cancer. However, the study also found an increased risk of kidney cancer, especially among patients under the age of 65.
That's Michael George reporting. Dentists are warning, though, of what they're seeing cases of Ozempic teeth, they call it. The active ingredient in Ozempic and Wegovy impacts the salivary glands, causing dry mouth, which can raise the risk, they say, of cavities and gum disease. Researcher Adam Taylor writes in Anatomy magazine that people on the weight meds can also experience side effects such as acid reflux, even vomiting, and that can further erode the tooth enamel. Warning signs include tooth sensitivity and a parched pus, and recommendation to users of GLP-1
what?
if you're on the medication. Straight to hell at the movies this summer in more ways than one, as we'll explain in our entertainment news, and that's coming up.
This summer, try the new Strata Frappuccino blended beverage at Starbucks. It's the classic blended iced coffee you know and love, now topped with a creamy layer of handcrafted brown sugar cold foam. Available for a limited time. Your Strata Frappuccino is ready at Starbucks.
There we go.
Count on Sundays with the NFL on CBS and Paramount Plus.
This is incredible.
Watch your local NFL game live all season long.
And he's in for a touchdown.
Visit ParamountPlus.com/NFL to get started today.
You still got it, but your immune system weakens as you age, making it hard to fight flu, pneumococcal pneumonia, RSV.
Put on your historian sunglasses as we go into the glare.
These are troubling times for immigrants. The lawyers at Spector Law Group stand by the great immigrant population of New York City. Now is the time to make sure you and your loved ones have your immigration status in order. And there is no better place to do that than Spector Law Group. Immigration lawyers at Spector Law Group are known for their honesty and reputation for fighting for their clients' immigration status in America. If you or your loved ones are undocumented, call them at 646-542-0234 to schedule a consultation. If you or anyone you know is being deported, you need to call them now. 646-542-0234. Write this number down, 646-542-0234, or visit them at spectorlawgroup.com. That's SPEKTOR lawgroup.com. Spector Law Group, your immigration lawyers. 646-542-0234. That's 646-542-0234.
Hollywood may not be hitting that $4 billion payday that some were predicting at the movies this summer. In the summer of Lilo and Stitch and the new Jurassic Park, confidence was high, but ComScore, which tracks these things, reports overall revenue was a little over $3.5 billion from May to the beginning of August. And Halloween seems to be getting an early start at the movies, according to the new numbers that are just in.
Let's send those disgusting demons back to the depths where they belong.
Netflix appears to have its first box office win thanks to K-pop Demon Hunters. The film, which centers on a K-pop superstar trio who double as demon hunters, topped the box office with an estimated $16 to $18 million in ticket sales, according to studio estimates.
She's to be locked up until she tells us what happened.
The horror movie Weapons came in second with more than $15 million domestically. Disney's Freakier Friday landed in third.
That's Chuck Severson reporting. The Office has been in reruns for years now, and Rainn Wilson is still enjoying fan interaction with people who think he really is Dwight Schrute. Part of the benefit, he says, is that he gets to act like a real jerk in real life, since fans expect that from his character. He told a fan expo in Chicago when he acts like that, people just say, well, isn't that charming?
Entertainment on 1010 Wins is sponsored by Shulman & Hill, New York's injury lawyers.
Go to hurtny.com.
That's hurtny.com.
The lunch was great. Greenwich Village is a fun spot.
Can we stop?
All right, guys, thank you so much for joining me on this episode of Documenting History. We're doing this for future generations. We'll see you on the next one.